All right. तो स्टार्ट करेंगे हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे आई थिंक बाकी लोग और
स्टार्ट
ज्वाइन
करते हैं
करेंगे.
सर.
Okay, all right. So
Sir,
we'll
sorry to interrupt, but
yeah.
I did inform you that I have my psychology class from 11:30 onwards, so I have to leave on 11:50.
Yeah, no problem. So let's start with you then.
हाँ प्लीज.
ठीक है, Jeffrey. Okay. So guys, book review session. As all of you know कि the idea is कि basically आप सबको पता है कि अभी जो एग्जाम का recent requirement है that is a superior reading habit. Okay. So these sessions we are planning, we've planned so that we can inculcate that habit. थोड़ा सा रीडिंग हमारे कल्चर में बहुत सारे जगह पे नहीं रहता है, बहुत सारे स्कूल्स में नहीं रहता, तो वी थॉट कि उसको क्यों ना इन सेशंस के थ्रू हम लोग लेके आए. ठीक है. मोरओवर इट्स अ गुड चांस कि क्लास के बाहर निकल के थोड़ा इनफॉर्मल डिस्कशन हो सके, कम से कम हम लोग एक दूसरे का चेहरा देख सकें, कौन कौन है, कहाँ से है, राइट. तो एक थोड़ा बेटर इंटरेक्शन हो एंड आप लोग कुछ चीजें रीड करें और उसको एक्सप्रेस कर सकें. प्रेजेंटेशन इज अगेन अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट स्किल जो आपको एज अ लॉयर या एज अ हॉस्पिटैलिटी गाइड बिल्ड करना है, राइट. तो ये दोनों चीजों को लाने के लिए वी थॉट कि लेट्स गो फॉर दीस सेशंस. ओके. These kind of sessions are generally conducted in MBA colleges and all. If you see MBA colleges में regularly newspaper sessions होते हैं, okay, book review sessions होते हैं, all right. और वहाँ पे काफी सारे personality development activities वगैरह करवाए जाते हैं. तो we thought कि why not add that to our curriculum, right? तो चलो start करते हैं. Let's start with Jeffrey. So
Yes.
you guys can introduce yourself, introduce the book that you're going to talk about. Author कौन है बताइए. उसके बाद book को summarize कर सकते हैं. क्या learnings मिले वो share कर सकते हैं. 3 minutes per speaker. All right, let's start. Yeah.
Good morning, sir, and everybody. I'm Jerfin Hussain, and I'm from Guwahati, Assam, and I read in class 11.
All right.
So the book that I chose to read this week and review is The Free Voice, that is by Ravish Kumar. As we all know, Ravish Kumar is a senior executive editor with NDTV. He is also a writer, journalist, and a social commentator. He was awarded the Raymond Magsaysay Award in 2019 as well.
Yeah.
So in this book that I am going to review, or I could say I summarized, is that in this review, Ravish Kumar said that he depicts the whole, as a whole, he tries to depict the current scenario of the Indian society and the nation. And on every page of this book, he tries to remind the people that what danger we are facing each and every day. So he talks about fear, fake news, lynching, and different kind of mobs that has been established in the society. He says, as a journalist, it is his duty to bring in light the harsh yet the truth reality of the main society, and in doing so, he has received many hatred, death threats, and God knows what. So with the book, I would like to start that in the very first chapter itself, he tries to draw our attention to the alarming rate at which now the fake news are spreading. Moreover, there are IT cells of different political parties that plays an active role in spreading false propaganda. And uh, he again explains it with the example of Gauri Lankesh, the death of Gauri Lankesh and Judge Loya, that shows the different shades of society where if we speak out the mob against the mob, there will be consequences. They indicate us that through that particular incidents we can get to know that. And he also coined a new term known as the robo-public, which means an alternative citizenry that created through social media and mainstream news channels by spreading fake news. As a citizen of this country, it is our duty to resist attacks on the democratic and secular nature of the society. He also in this book, from the critical analysis that he drew on the social situation of the country, he also directed to a mild satire at the India's Godman syndrome, which promises to provide, like the Babas that we know, they promises to provide the solution to every problems we have. And this is not only, we have a tendency that we believe that only poor people goes to Baba and all, but this is not like that. The poor and the rich all seek refuges to such Babas, and this superstitions that we have in the Indian society does not seem to end. It is growing each day by day and day. So in this the last part of his essay, he tries to say that he returns to the issue of hate mongering, killing, and love jihad and moral policing. He gives importance on the significance of love and harmony in a country like India, which consists of people of various cultural groups as well as communities. So as an individual, I found this book really informative for me, and the language that is used by Mr. Kumar is very lucid and can be understood easily by everyone. So this book revealed to me some dark sides of the society as well, and there some facts that I did not knew about it. For such example, in the first chapter itself, I got to know that most 96% of the institutions that we have in India are below the average percentile of means that provides the standard education. So this book gave me lot of information, like the Right to Information Act. After this, the information of the press has been curtailed, and as before it was like that the press was allowed to go and visit the parliament or the office of any minister at any time, but now they have to take permission to visit them, and many more procedures has been introduced. So i so i personally think that this book is really nice, and I would like to end my summary of this with a quote that he said that fear does not end after you have spoken out. Even after you have spoken, fear lies in wait for you with its nest and snares. Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Uh,
great, great, great.
Jeffrey, could you repeat that last point?
Okay, sir.
That quote.
Fear does not end after you have spoken out. Even after you have spoken, fear lies in wait for you with its nets and snares.
Okay.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful, Jeffrey. So I think it was a wonderful way of presenting it. Okay, being the first speaker, थोड़ा सा एक झिझक भी रहता है, but you spoke really well, and it seems like अब already काफी time से you're invested into all these. Is it? You read a lot.
Yes, sir. I have been reading actually my grandfather. He was an English teacher as well, and uh, government servant. So from him I inherited this, and I actually have a habit to read a book every day. Even 2 pages, I read it every day.
Cool, man.
So I
Cool.
kind of
Wonderful.
completed many books. So that's the reason.
Wonderful, great, great, great. Really, I'm astonished with the kind of presentation that you did and the way you've prepared. Wonderful, Jeffrey. Brilliant. Good job.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, all right. I think आप सही field choose कर रहे हो. Law is one field that you will definitely do well, right? Great. Okay, I think आपका class का time हो गया, right? Take care. Bye bye. See you in another session. Take care.
Thank you so much, sir.
Right, right. Thank you. Bye bye. Okay, so that was a book by Ravish Kumar presented by Jeffrey. So next कौन आ रहा है भाई? प्रज्ञा सबसे पहले से आकर wait कर रही है. So Pragya, let's hear it from Pragya. Yeah, Pragya.
Yes, sir.
अच्छा सब लोग एक मिनट प्रज्ञा, सब लोग एक दूसरे के बुक्स, या प्रज्ञा एक मिनट बस, हाँ सब लोग एक दूसरे के बुक्स के बारे में सुने, राइट? क्योंकि लास्ट में वील डू एक छोटा सा एक लाइक तुम लोगों को टास्क बोलो या एक्टिविटी बोलो, आई विल गिव यू, ठीक है? तो आप लोग एक दूसरे का जो रिव्यू है, समरी है, जैसे एक बार सुनिए अच्छे से, ठीक है? हाँ प्रज्ञा, यस.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Pragya Priyam from Patna, Bihar, and I've chosen the book The Argumentative Indian.
By Amartya Sen.
So, yes, sir, by Amartya Sen.
Yeah.
So, this book is written by Amartya Sen, who was an Indian economist and born in West Bengal on 3rd of November 1933. And he has made contributions to welfare economics, economic and social justice, and development economics, and so on. And this book has brought together a selection of writings from Amartya Sen that outline the need to understand about the contemporary India in the light of its long argumentative tradition. And the writer argues for the success of India's democracy, removal of inequalities related to class, gender, community, and caste. And this book is divided into 4 sections, which are: first section is voice and heterodoxy, second one is culture and communication, third is politics and protest, and fourth one is the reason and identity. The first section looks at the general culture of pluralistic debate within back to the times of King Ashok and Buddha. And second section seeks to restore the reputation of Rabindranath Tagore as an intellectual polymath, combining spiritual and political ideas, and explored India's relationship with her neighboring countries. And then third section looks at conflicts of class and criticizes inequalities in Indian society and arguments that have been used to justify them. And also Amartya Sen has won very Amartya Sen has won many awards that are he won Bharat Ratna in 1999 and Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Science that is in 1998 and National Humanities Medal in 2011. And finally, the book explores modern culture of secularism and liberalism in an Indian context. But after reading this book, we get to know about the Indian society and about its culture during the times of kings Ashok and Buddhas. That's all.
Okay, wonderful, Pragya.
Sir.
ओके अच्छा नहीं सही में बताओ प्रज्ञा लाइक इज द बुक इंटरेस्टिंग क्योंकि पर्सनली मुझे भी वो बुक पढ़नी है अमर्त्य सेन की मैं कोई ना कोई बुक पढ़ना चाह रहा था तो हाउ इज इट लाइक इज इट इंटरेस्टिंग बोरिंग कैसा है
इंटरेस्टिंग है बेसिक बुक है अबाउट मतलब पहले कैसा हमारा सोसाइटी था हमारा कल्चर कैसे थे बहुत सारे इनइक्वालिटीज थे कास्ट को लेकर कम्युनिटीज में जेंडर को लेकर तो इस बुक को पढ़ने से हम ये जान सकते हैं
Okay.
पहले कैसा था हमारा सोसाइटी
Okay, great. ठीक है. Again, okay. I think it was well presented. अच्छा था प्रज्ञा, right? बोल रहे हैं कि completely पढ़े नहीं है, but still you sounded good कि मतलब समझ में like काफी understanding के साथ आपने उसको explain किया, right? थोड़ा सा लेकिन मुझे और थोड़ा सा उसमें क्लैरिटी हो सकता था 4 पार्ट्स वगैरह के बारे में बात किए थोड़ा सा और क्लैरिटी से एक पार्ट को समझाते तो आई थिंक और ज्यादा अच्छा रहता राइट बट अच्छा है टू स्टार्ट विद इट वाज अ गुड वन टू स्टार्ट विद इट वाज अ गुड वन राइट
थैंक यू सर
ओके वील लेट अस आस्क गमक टू स्पीक अभी वो एक्सपर्ट है बोलने में गमक राइट
नॉट रियली सर
उसके क्वेश्चंस से ही लगता है ग्रुप में हाँ सही है ओके चलो गमा
yes sir so the book that I'm talking about today is Good Omens. This is a fantasy fictional book written by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett. If we look upon these books, if we have read Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman's book, they often write together. They mainly write about horror fiction and fantasies and some of their books are like scientific fictional work. So this book mainly revolves around 2 characters, that is an angel and a fallen angel. The fallen angel technically means a demon, so the angel's name is Aziraphale and the fallen angel is Crowley, which they both have to deal with an apocalypse of the end of the world and they are trying to stop it. I really love the plot of this book because I'm very much into fantasy because I don't read much, so whenever I read I need to read something that is very of my liking. So overall the book has a good ending, good beginning. This book plays a lot around the demons and the angels and morality, and I am very much flabbergasted about when I heard about the series of this book coming up on Amazon. So I also watched the series upon Amazon. So the 2 main characters of this book, Aziraphale is more of a righteous and funny and gentle angel, while Crowley is more of a mischievous character with funny and snarky characteristics and instincts. And both of the characters are like east and west of these stories. So first of all, I would love to talk about the writing style of these 2 amazing authors. That is, they write in a very weird way. in a very kind of way that we might find a bit creepy, but when we think about it, when we think about how we can process this information in our mind, coming out of our box and coming out of our comfort zones, we can see that it is delightful, and a bit charming at the same time. More often, what I have seen in the book is that they use British humor. Now, often if Indian readers or American readers or readers from any other country read this book, they would find a bit difficult to understand those humors because it has reference to the British jokes. But a surprising thing is that they have given a bit of reference palettes and reference pieces, and at the end of every page, that explains the particular humor and what the humor is about. So the way they have plotted this whole story is that they build the story in such a way and in such steps that they are getting ready for the finale eventually. So it creates impatience in the minds of the reader, because I was so impatient while reading this book, and I was so curious about what is going to happen next. And so overall, the book is has an amazing concept, and even if the people who do not read this genre of fantasy will enjoy it, and it has many turning points. That's it.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful, Gamak. So, Gamak, all right. So, generally, you read fiction.
Yeah, sir.
Fiction. बहुत
Fiction.
ज़्यादा-
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, great. Wonderful. I think you were saying that weekly you read 1 or 2 books, right? मतलब 2 books a week या 1 book a week तुमने बोला था शायद.
Sir, I literally do not read.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't like reading. I read
That was me, sir.
3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Only
All right.
if there's something I find that I should read this because this feels like a different piece of writing, only
Right.
then I read.
Okay, cool, great. But otherwise, like your communication skills and way of presentation, everything was, I think, extraordinary, brilliant. So, अभी आप 11th, 12th में कि 11th में हैं?
I'm in 12th, sir.
Class 12th, right? Great, yeah, good, brilliant. I think Pune and Bombay का effect है, right?
Sir, to be honest, 3 साल पहले तक मेरी इंग्लिश बहुत ही बुरी थी, but फिर मैंने सीरीज देखना शुरू किया, and I was
Okay.
so much into Netflix and drama.
Right.
So
Right.
because of that, मेरी communication skills भी बढ़ गई, and
Cool.
I guess listening helped a lot. Listening,
Yeah, definitely.
helped a lot.
Listening definitely helps you. Right?
Yes, sir.
Helps you, right? Great. Wonderful, yeah, good, well presented.
Thank you, sir.
Hello.
हाँ सर, शेर सर, आवाज आ रही है आपकी? आवाज आ रही है सर, फेस नहीं दिख रहा है आपका. Okay, so let's go to some boys now. एक ही बंदा दिख रहा है मुझे तो. ठीक है, चलो. So let's continue with Raghavan. Yeah.
Good morning, sir, and everyone. I'm
Yeah.
Raghavan Raj. I'm from Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
I'm in class 12. The book I'm reviewing is 1984. It is written by George Orwell. George Orwell, he was born Eric Arthur Blair in Motihar, Bengal in 1903. He's an English novelist, essayist, and a critic. He is well known for 2 of his anti-authoritarian works, which was Animal Farm, which was published in 1945, and 1984, which was published in 1949. Okay, the summary of the book is it revolves around the story of Wilson Smith, outer party member of the INSOC, which is the ruling party, the only party of Oceania, a superpower which has the entire northern and southern American continent, as well as the United Kingdom in Europe, with half of the African continent, from Congo to South Africa. It revolves about how part 1 of the book usually revolves around how the party works, how INSOC works. The party head is named Big Brother. Big Brother is assumed to be the ruler of the party. It is not known if he really exists or is just a a fictional party icon, because everything during that stage is all fictional. Every document from history has been fabricated by the party to show them in a light favorable light. Okay. The party, in order to prevent any further revolutions, has now developed a new language called Newspeak, with Old Speak being considered as English, with Newspeak having starting to eliminate of words which might bring in arguments which might be detrimental to the party, like the word equal in Newspeak does not exist, whereas in Newspeak one can say all men are cannot say all men are equal in Newspeak, but people can say all men are redheads, for example. But that doesn't show any political freedom or anything, because it has been eliminated from it. The more we go and see, we can see that everyone is the condition or living conditions is in shambles, with almost every person in near poverty, with the party system being with the inner party, the outer party, and the people who are not linked to the party, called the proles. The proles make up 70% of the population, with the rest being made with 20% of the outer party and the remaining percent with the inner party. Now, as we go further in the story, we can notice that there are many rules and regulations, with the uh, many ministries, called the Ministry of Truth, the Ministry of Love, the Ministry of, oh my god, okay. Ministry of Truth, Ministry of Love, the Ministry, okay, with where the Ministry of the Love is the most scariest in ministry, because it has police divisions called the thought police, which crack down and eliminate people at will. Like, if this even if they were their children, if they were their own children betray people at this, if anyone were to make a small report saying my neighbor has said bad things about the party, that neighbor would go. Okay, as we go back to the story, we can notice that the main part of the story is, we notice how televisions have been made into telescreens, where you where the people, the thought police, they might be listening and looking at your video at any time, as the same if there's a TV screen in your vicinity. As you can see, you can notice Wilson Smith, he lives in constant fear, because any sign of emotion, even from his back, could implicate him of anything. With the party follows is has a neo socialism like angle, where it doesn't completely follow communism, but it has aspects of communism in it, with commune sharing, and not all aspects, but only certain, with the word comrade, with the word he and she literally eliminated from the language. And back, okay, the main characters we know is Wilson Smith, Julia, and an inner party member named O'Brien. The main plot is the 2 week of hate preparation, where a bunch of people go and watch it, go into a theater where they show propaganda which actually infills hate into a person, and which instills confidence, where a person have both loves and fears the party, with the enemy of the people being known as Emmanuel Goldstein. According to if we the further we progress in the story, we understand Goldstein is nothing more but a former leader of INGSOC back in 1945, when every nation was bombed with nuclear machines, and World War II didn't end with the German loss ended with the German loss, but not without nukes exploding from varying from London was nuked, Berlin, Russia, Asia was fortunately spared. And now after multiple civil wars, we know, and the United States coming into a coalition with UK to form Oceania, we have most of Europe and Russian peninsula under Eurasia, EURASIA, and with China, Afghanistan, Tibet, and parts of Japan under East Asia, where their ideology is nothing more but the followers of the death believers, the death worshippers. The more we advance in the story, we can see the more brutal that wherever we go, there might be microphones, there might be the thought police listening everywhere. Eventually, both Julia and Wilson, eventually they meet up with O'Brien, and they believe that he's a member of the Brotherhood, which a Brotherhood is. It is a myth. It is expected to be a underground party which is against the Big Brother INGSOC. But however, O'Brien eventually betrays them, and then both Julia and Will Smith are taken to prison, where eventually Will Smith is taken to room 101. One of the most it is considered to be one of the worst punishments any person could get, because they're literally broken down. They're forced to betray everything and anything, and they're forced to confess that they have done stuff against the party. And after they have done the room 101 torture, where there's a machine which causes pain, Will Smith has a fear of rodents. So his head was trapped in a cage while there was a machine jolting electricity to him, while at the same time rodents were chewing down his nose and in his face, and he was forced to confess that he and Julia were doing anti-party activities. When eventually they're released, and at the sheer conclusive end of the story, the thought police come and shoot him in the head, and he accepts it because he wanted to die, but there was no easy way to kill himself because poisons and guns were not easily available. Okay, that's the end of the book review. The main thing I've learned from this 1984 is how dangerous authoritarian nations are, including, and also understanding how nations like North Korea and China work. End of my book review.
All right, great. So next, let's have, I think शगुन बहुत देर से वेट कर रही है सबसे पहले आके, एकदम क्यूरियसली सुन रही है सबकी बातें. हाँ शगुन, let's start. शगुन थोड़ा सा बताओ अपने बारे में, कहाँ से हो?
Sir, basically I'm from Himachal, but हर 3 साल बाद जगह बदलती है.
Okay, आर्मी बैकग्राउंड वगैरह है क्या?
Yes, sir.
सही है यार, गुड यार. तो
मैं
अभी कहाँ हो फिलहाल?
हैदराबाद sir.
हैदराबाद में. Okay. बताओ.
So, sir, the novel which I have read is The Naughtiest Girl, written by Evid Balton. I hope I might be audible. I am.
Yeah, you're audible.
So, am I audible?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Yes, you're audible. Yeah.
So it's a fiction, and the main character is Elizabeth Ellen. She's a rich, spoiled girl, and she's a rich, spoiled girl who is sent to sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I think there is some net issues my side, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you're audible. बिल्कुल, आपकी आवाज आ रही है, clearly आ रही है. Yes.
Okay, sir. So, sir, she was sent to a school and she was a young, spoiled girl. But the thing is that now she makes up her mind that she would be the naughtiest girl. And that's the whole story is about the mischief she did in her school. But now the most important thing comes is that how the writer has woven the instances in front of us. So while reading, one can't stop being nostalgic and reminiscing about the school days and school friends. But there are many points that needed to be noted, that how the writer expresses his utopian vision about the school needed to be, how the school should be like. So here's a school where the teacher only impart education. They don't punish the student. There is a separate committee for that. and the committee consists of monitor from each class elected by the student of that class, and there are head girls who chaired the committee who were then elected by the monitors. So it's kind of parliament where monitors are MP and the head girls and head boys are prime minister. So it's easy relatable. So now if any student don't abide by the rules and if does any mischief, he has to compensate. She has to compensate from his pocket money, who is the pocket money is given by the school itself, and that is equal for all the students. And so the other point we need to note is that the school encourages activities like gardening and pet taming. And being environment activist, I really love that. I love pets, I love environment, and I really want to speak about that. See, our school expect us to be environment saver, just writing articles for examination point of view on environment. So I don't think so that should be in reality. They should promote, the school even should have a subject as gardening, pet taming, so we can get connected to the environment and it will be more holistic.
Right.
And I think the new education policy may do something for it too. We all expect. So the next point is, and the main point, the book talks about the psychology of a student, of a child, how he thinks. For us, something might be very important, but for them, they are just like ashes. And some very small things, they might be very important for them. So the books also, expresses the right of view that how the education should be for a young child, how we need to teach them, and what are the main things that require to be imparted to them. And after all, the girl that was Elizabeth Ellen was not naughty. If we see the overall idea of the book, she was not very naughty in any point of view. The poet was actually talking about every one of us who must have ever done all kind of things. So the thing I loved about the novel is, while reading all the instances, you will be able to imagine it in front of your eyes, and then there's some, see, many times we do mistake and we never recognize them that we had done that. So the book in a very small way help us realize that we had done something wrong, and yes, we could do something to improve that, and we would not do the same things from next time. So I'm not a very regular reader, so I just started with a very basic book. So that's what I was more up to more scientific reading before that.
Okay. Scientific reading, like what kind of scientific reading, Shagun?
Like more Albert Einstein time theory vagara and all that things. Means I love more science before till 10th, but the opportunities I don't like in science.
Okay. Great. All right. So that's a good transition. Achha, the way you explained it also was good. I think it's a simple book. And a notice girl, कोई और चाहे तो शगुन से मांग के पढ़ सकता है, right? So अच्छा है, good, well presented, good job, great. Next, Akansha.
Yes, sir, chalega.
हाँ, Akansha.
Yes, sir. Good morning to one and all present here. The book I'm going to review about is The Hound of Baskervilles. It's written by Arthur Conan Doyle in the year 1902. So this is basically a criminal and a mysterious book. So the two places about which we are going to talk about is, please don't laugh, is Dartmoor and is London. So the characters of the book are first is Sherlock Holmes. He is the protagonist. He is a detective and he is hired by Dr. James Mortimer, who is actually the friend of Mr. Charles Baskerville, who is the owner of the Baskervilles Halls in Dartmoor, and he was murdered by someone. The second character is Watson, who assists Sherlock to solve mysteries. the third character is Henry Baskerville, who is the owner of the complete Baskerville family after Charles is murdered. So these are some of the main characters. Other than this, we have a few characters whom we are supposed to know. As I said, this is a mystery book, so it might help you to solve who was actually the murderer and why he or she did it. So the first character was Laura. She is basically the neighbor of this man, Charles. Then there are two characters who are kind of a bit confusing. So how are they confusing? I'll tell. They are actually husband and wife, but they claim that they are brothers and sisters.
Akansha.
Yes, sir.
Akansha, sorry to interrupt.
Nahin,
Okay.
chalega.
I think the Hound of
Baskerville.
Baskerville is, I think, yeah, it's one of the most famous books on Sherlock Holmes, right? I think it's one of the top-notch books on Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, it's
So
a
I'll just like to say कि आप इसका final mystery reveal मत करना. Okay, so there may be
I
other
won't
people who
reveal. I won't
Yeah.
reveal.
So
Don't
just
worry.
give a background to the story और उसका वो reveal मत करना. ठीक है, continue. All right. Yeah.
Okay, so the two confusing characters are Jack and Beryl. They are actually husband and wife, but they claim that we are brothers and sisters. So this is something you cannot expect. Then there is a very important character who is Selden. He is an escaped prisoner. And then there is a housekeeper and his wife who actually worked at the Baskerville house. So shall I tell a brief about the story? At least what
Sure,
happens?
Sure.
Yeah. So the story begins with the death of Charles Baskerville, who is the owner of the Baskerville family, and he lives in Dartmoor. So he has a friend whose name is Dr. James Mortimer. When he comes, to his funeral and to the last rites of the person, he feels something that this wasn't just a death, it was a murder, as because when the body was found, the body was kind of in a trauma or in a shock, as if it had seen something which never existed. So that's when Mortimer decides to call Sherlock from London. So what Sherlock does is that he sends Watson in his place, saying that he wanted to go somewhere else as they have many cases to solve. So, but actually he doesn't go. He doesn't go somewhere else. He comes to Dartmoor and he disguises himself and he keeps a check on the Dartmoor family. So after the death of Charles, Henry, who lives in London, also arrives. Now what happens is that Henry is not familiar with the people of Dartmoor. Okay, so he tries to communicate with them, and after a few days, he gets very close to everyone, especially Jack and Beryl. So after some time, Henry was attacked thrice. He was attempted to kill actually. So now the main question arises that why is Henry killed? Okay, and why was Charles killed? And while Sherlock and Watson were trying to solve this, suddenly a news comes that a very famous prisoner called Sheldon has escaped from the jail. So this is also a turning point of the complete story. Now what happens is that Selden was actually hiding in the Dartmoor Valley. Actually, it was a complete valley, and the area was filled with bog. I'm not sure if everybody is knowing about bog. Bala sir, a bog.
No.
Bog. Should I translate it once to Hindi?
Yeah, sure.
दलदल से भरी जमीन थी पूरे इलाके में.
Okay.
So a swamp-like land.
Kind
Yeah,
of a
exactly,
swamp,
Raghavan.
right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So now I won't reveal the next portion as Bala sir has asked me not to. So
Right. But I'm very sure that Gamak knows what happened next. Right? She
Sir,
looks really.
ragging
Sir,
you're a big fan.
जैसी आकांक्षा ने नाम लिया हाउंड्स ऑफ बास्केटबॉल, मैं इतनी साइक्ड थी उस टाइम पे, बिकॉज शर्लॉक होम्स इज लाइक माई दी ओनली थिंग. मतलब अगर मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है देखने को, मैं घूम फिर के नेटफ्लिक्स पे शर्लॉक होम्स पे ही जाऊंगी. So I have seen Sherlock Holmes like 150 times till now. मुझे सारे डायलॉग याद है. और जैसे आकांक्षा like I'm going to talk about Hounds of Baskerville, I was like, God, this is my favorite episode of all time. मैं literally unmute करके बोलने वाली थी कि बताना मत लास्ट में हुआ क्या.
Forget about it.
Because वो बहुत ही मतलब हाई लेवल मिस्ट्री थी वो उस पूरे एपिसोड की.
बहुत sir. You know, at one point I was so confused that who might have done this thing. Okay, I was confused whether it's Selden or it is the neighbor. Who is it? कौन है ये इंसान? And all I would request is please go and read the book. Don't Netflix and chill like Gamak does. Okay. Read the book. It's a very interesting book.
Yeah, Gamak, have you read it? Like, do you read Sherlock or you just?
Sir,
watch?
I have read the book when I was in 8th standard, and then when the series came 2015 May, I watched the series too. But by the time I watched the series, I actually forgot half of the thing that I read in 8th standard.
So you're frozen. Is my network?
नहीं,
Fine.
इस साइड से कोई इशू है शायद. Yeah. ठीक है. So I think we're done with everyone, right? Everyone is done with the presentations, right? Yeah, it was really, I would say, amazing, wonderful. I did not expect the session to be, so informative and so, like well presented by most of the students. मतलब मैं expect नहीं किया था कि शायद इतने अच्छे से आप लोग सब लोग present कर पाएंगे. So it's wonderful to see, all you people reading really good. मुझे तो ये लग रहा है कि यार हम लोग बूढ़े हो गए. क्या शेर सर? We are reading nothing more than the newspaper and all this.
मुझे ऐसा लगा कि ये जो लोग हैं, apart from being good reader, they are also good speakers. हाँ?
Exactly.
तो वाकई में मैं भी काफी सरप्राइज था इस तरह का प्रेजेंटेशन फ्रॉम यू पीपल. मैं एक्सपेक्ट नहीं किया था, हम लोगों ने रियली एक्सपेक्ट नहीं किया था. Very good job.
Yes. So I think we even, we will have to take things to like the next level. थोड़ा सा we'll have to go a notch higher, right? तो हमारे लिए kind of एक eye opener, right? So ठीक है, next session whatever we have, yeah, even classes में, classroom sessions में we will try to go to the next level.
हाँ, इस सेशन का ऑब्जेक्टिव ये था that we have to inculcate that reading habit in you. ठीक है, बुक रीडिंग जस्ट एक स्टार्ट था, राइट? आगे आने वाले सेशंस में विल बी डिस्कसिंग ऑन सम पॉलिसीज. तो यहाँ पे ऑब्जेक्टिव ये नहीं कि बुक्स हम कैसे रीड करें, यहाँ पे हमारा मेजर ऑब्जेक्टिव है दैट वी हैव टू इंप्रूव योर रीडिंग स्पीड. ठीक है, काफी ज्यादा ऑब्जेक्टिव होके हमको चलना है. ठीक है, बट डेफिनेटली आज का जो सेशन था वो बहुत ही अच्छा था सेशन, और आगे हम लोग इसको डेफिनेटली और प्लान करेंगे. ठीक है, चलिए, सो चलते हैं, मिलते हैं ऑन मंडे. एंजॉय योर वीकेंड, टेक केयर, बाय बाय.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
चलो, bye guys, bye, take care, bye.